Hello everyone, Chris McCarthy here with FactoryWebSource.com, and in this video tutorial today I'm going to show you how you go about editing your products and services page. So I'm using theme number 1 today, and as you see we've added in a lot of default content for you to get started. Now all this is editable by you, so you can simply go in here and change everything that's on this page or delete and add any new rows or features or content that you see fit. So as you see right here is a main header area that has a background image here. I'm going to show you how you go about editing this background image. Then we have a main title, a subtitle, and then a call to action button. As I scroll down, we have a list of services that has an image off to the left, the title of the service, and then a brief description of that service. And then down here in the bottom, we've added a call to action row, which has your phone number that you can edit, and then also another button right here. So I'm going to show you how you go about editing the elements on this page, and then quickly how you go about adding a new row and adding new content to your page. So first off, log into your Factory Web Source control panel, and then over here on the left, click on Pages. So we are looking for the products and services page. So go ahead and click on that. That's going to bring up the editor window for that page. And what we've used here is a page builder. So it's a very easy drag and drop visual page builder, so you can see exactly everything that's laid out here. So the first row you see right here is that main heading area that has that image up here on the top, and then also the main heading, your subheading, and the button. So back over here in the control panel, here is your row. This is a single column row, but you can also make it a dual column, 3 columns, however you see fit for this. This is a single column. So first off, clicking on the pencil icon is going to bring up the settings panel for that row. So you can adjust the position, you can adjust the height of this row. Under design options is where you would go to edit the image. So as you can see, we've added a background color of black, but we've also added an image in here. If you wanted to swap out this image and change it up, very simply click on this plus icon. This is going to bring up your media library. If you want to upload new files, click on Upload Files, and then select Files right here. This is going to allow you to go in here and add new files that are directly on computer and add them into the media library. Once they're added into the media library, you simply click on the image you want to add, then click Set Image, and that's going to set that new image over here in this area. You save those changes, and now that new background image is going to be applied to that row. Now within this row, we have additional elements. So the first one we have here is heading. So this is your main heading and also your subheading. So you can change out these, edit these, and then under the typography settings is where you would go to change out the font style, the font size, and the color for both the main heading and then also the subheading. Once you're happy with those changes, always click on Save Changes. And then down here below, we've added an advanced button. So once again, click on this little pencil icon to edit this. You can change out the label that's on this button right here. And then also you can change out where it links off to. We've linked this off to your contact page. You can adjust the alignment of the button, the size of the button, the colors of the button. Here's the background. This is basically your hover states for that button. You can also add icons, change up the styling, add a shadow, and this is where you go to change up the font style, and the font size for that. So that is basically your first row right there. That is all editable. If you want to remove this row, you can simply delete it by clicking on this delete row icon. Scrolling down, now we have a series of rows that list your products and services. We've added some in here by default. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to edit one of these rows. So here's row number 1. So essentially what we have here is a row. If I want to change the background color, click on that pencil icon, click under design changes, and then if I want to change the background color to black, save those changes. Once those changes have been saved, I just update the page. And now if I was to go back to the browser here and go ahead and refresh this page, it's now going to make that background of that row black. So I can switch it back here, go back over here to this pencil icon. So these are the settings for this row under design changes, and I can switch this back to just being white in the background and update that page. So what we have here is a series of rows. Each of these rows is editable by clicking on that little pencil icon. And then within each of these rows, we have another row, which is a 2-column row where it's a little bit smaller over here on the side. So what it is 1/3 over here and 2/3 over here. So the 1/3 section has an element in here for single image. So that's the image you see right here. If I was to go back in here, click on the pencil icon to edit this. This is where you would go to change out this image. Simply click on the plus icon again, brings open that media library, and you can either upload your files right here or select a file that you've already uploaded in here, set that image, and it's going to change out that image. Now that photo is right there. As you see on the website, it's a circle with a border, so you can actually change out the look by scrolling down a little bit. Image, style, circle, border. I could change this off to just being default, saving those changes, updating the page. What that's doing is it's removing those settings that make it a circle with that gray border on there. So if I refresh the page now, it's just going to show that image as default, which is a square image. So if you want to change these out, there's a bunch of different type of default setting images you can have on there. So you can make a circle, you can make it a little bit rounded on the corners, you can change out the border color, or you can just keep it default like this. Switching it back here, back over here, pencil icon, open up that settings panel, scrolling down here under image style, I'm going to switch this back to circle border. This is where you would change the border color if you want. Save those changes, and it's going to apply those changes back to that image. The other section we have here in this column is the heading. So this is the title and the description. And what we've done here is added a heading in here. Click on that pencil icon. This is where you can change up the title of the service or product, and this is where you go about editing the brief description. And then under typography is where you would change up the font style, the font size, and the color for both the main heading and then down here below for that subheading. Once you're happy with those changes, always click on Save Changes, and it's going to save those. So that's basically how we've added all these different rows down here. So if you want to delete any of these rows, you would just click on the trash icon. It's going to ask you if you want to confirm that, to delete that. Now, if you want to add additional rows, it's very simple to go ahead and duplicate these rows. So the best thing is down here at the bottom, choose this last row that's down here. And if you click on this little duplicate icon, what it's going to do is it's going to duplicate that row down here below. So now when I update that page, it's going to create a completely new row that's an exact duplicate of that other row. And then you can go in and edit and change out the settings for that row. So as I scroll down here, you're going to have two duplicate rows. And then if I go back here to the website, refresh the browser, you're going to see that now I have two rows down here. Both are the same assembly. So all I would have to do is go back into the control panel down here and choose that row. And these are the two duplicate rows, but I can then swap out the image simply by editing the content that's in each of these rows. Last column down here is your call to action row. So just like the other tutorials I've gone over on the other pages, you can simply go in there and edit your phone number and then also that free quote button. So that is how you go about editing your products and services page. This page is completely customizable by you. You can remove all the content that's currently in here or simply edit the content that's in there by adding your own images and then also your own titles and descriptions. If you need any help or support on this, please click on the support tab. It's located over here in the left of your control panel, and we'd be happy to help.